All right. So, for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Heather. I am with Creepy Holiday Stuff, and I usually just paint styrofoam heads. I love making creepy stuff, not just heads. I've been doing trucks and other things. I do a lot of different things. I love creepy, but I also love to make pretty things. But I decided to start doing a weekly every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is California time, so the West Coast. I'm going to be doing Halloween recipes, and I plan on doing them all the way up until Halloween. Um, I don't know, I might run out of recipes, but that's my intention. So I hope you can join me every Friday. Um, and what I'll do is on the weekend, I'll probably post. I have an event. If you click on events, you'll see the upcoming recipe I'll be doing. I am not a fabulous cook. I'm not a fabulous baker. I can't guarantee things will turn out, but I'm gonna follow recipe and see what happens. Okay. So thanks so much for joining, and I'll peek every so often to see if I have any comments. Oh, thank you for sprinkling the love. I'd appreciate it if you all would share this. Get the algorithm going. That would be awesome. Oh, thank you, Debbie. You are so sweet. I appreciate that. So let's get started. I kind of did some pre-prepping so you don't have to sit here and wait for the dough to chill or wait for the cookies to cook. I did half my batch early in steps so that as I make them, for example, when I have to put the dough in the fridge, I will have dough coming right out that's already been chilled. So you don't have to. I can't bake or cook. Follow this recipe. Then you'll be able to, Dottie. So I'm going to get started here. Um, so you are going to need flour, powdered sugar, baking powder, vanilla extract, salt, butter. Now, there's some recipes that call for unsalted, some call for salted. This one batch I did, I used, I think I used salted. I can't remember. But anyway, what I have left is I have one unsalted and one salted, so I'm going to use those for this batch. And then you need almonds. So you want to have blanched almonds. I was in such a rush, and almonds were the very last thing on my mind. I ended up getting some lightly salted almonds. I went ahead and boiled a couple of them to see if I can cut them in half, which I had a little trouble, but you're able to get the skin off really easy. So, I mean, you could use other seeds, you can use pumpkin seed, whatever you want, but it calls for almonds. Some green food coloring, and red gel, or you can use like strawberry jam or raspberry jam, whatever you want. That's going to be the blood. And then this is optional, and I'm going to try. I couldn't find any red candy wafers to melt because on the end of the cookie I want to make it like blood. I couldn't find any, so I just got some white, and I have red food coloring. Actually, I have the gel. I also have red food coloring to put in there to make it red so it'll look like blood. I have black icing, so you can leave the fingernails plain or make them black, make them red, whatever you want to do. I'm going to try black. Okay? So before I get myself so confused, because I'm really good at that, I'm just going to get started. Hi, Fran. I can't wait till I get the cooler out so I can bake again. My granddaughter would love that. Ah, awesome. I usually get sliver. I know. I couldn't find them, Yvette. You sure do, Dottie. Totally. All right, so I got to put my seeing close glasses. These are my seeing far glasses. So I don't get all woozy while I look at the camera. All right, so we're going to start by, okay, well, hold on, let me think. I always get confused. You want the one that I'm going to mix in this one, okay? Forgive me if I talk to myself a little bit. Okay, so let's just get this stuff in here. We want a cup of butter, so it's going to be 2 sticks. Because each stick is half a cup. So we'll just put it right in there. Make sure you get it all. I've had this sitting out so it's nice and soft. Hi, Tanya. And then we're going to do 1 cup of powdered sugar. So let me get my cup out. Now you can tell I'm a crafter. I keep my stuff tied together with pipe cleaners. Back from my wreath days. Okay, so we're going to put, is it 1 cup? I had to write down the recipe. There's so many different recipes for this. It's stupid. There's too many. So I just grabbed this one. It had a lot of stars. And I tasted it too. It's not bad. Reminds me of like shortbread. Okay. So 1 cup of sugar, powdered sugar. All right. I totally forgot my egg. 1 second. I totally forgot my egg. Now, there is one mistake I did. I did not add the food coloring until I had all the dough going. Mistake. Add your food coloring into the egg mixture, okay? I'm all stuck everywhere. 1 second. So I'm gonna get my red food coloring ready. Okay. Sorry, I'm not one of those cooks that can just sit here and tell you everything to do. I gotta look at the directions. I make designer hats and other stuff. Love to make them. Oh, awesome, Becky. I would love to see your witch hats. I really would, because I use witch hats on my heads. Okay. So I'm gonna start, or you know what, before I do this, let's get the dry ingredients all ready. So then I can just start pouring it in when it's time. So the flour, we need 2 3/4 cups. So there's 1, 2, and now we need 3/4. I don't have a 3/4 on here, so I gotta try to eyeball it on here. So wait till you see the batch I did already. It's kind of embarrassing. I learned from it though, so I'm glad I did it ahead of time, and I'll explain to you the no-no in making these. You'll see what I mean. If you don't add your food coloring to the way, I'm sure you end up with dirty fingers. Yeah, totally. It was such a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt. I had to put gloves on and sit there and oh my God, because you know I had the streaks of green and I'm like, you know, if I was a baker, I would have known this. Okay. Now we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Let's see. 1 teaspoon baking powder. Now, if you use salted butter, you know, you can lower the salt amount if you want. This one calls for 1/2 teaspoon. If you use salted butter, you can bring it down to 1/4 teaspoon, I guess. But I'm just going to do what I did, and I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon. I always do it over something because I don't want to pour it into my mixture more than what's needed. Okay, so flour, baking powder, and salt all inside of here. And you want to give it a little whisk. Please share this live. I'd super appreciate it. I totally would. Okay, so this will be ready to stir into my wet mixture when that's ready. me tell my son I'm live right now. I'm live, kiddo. Sorry. Whoopsie. Okay. Denise, thank you for the stars. I really appreciate it. Tanya says she has a paid group called Creepy Corner. She does weekly tutorials, giveaways, and other stuff. It's 20. Thank you so much for letting everybody know about my group, Tanya. Would love to have you guys join. Anybody interested, just go to my pinned post, and it has all the information you need and links and all that jazz. So I'm sorry if I miss any comments. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's going to be like zombie fingers or something. I don't know. All right. So now I'm going to take my little cheapy blender thing or mixer. I don't know what they're called. Blender, mixer. And start mixing this. And then I'll add, oh, hold on. I got to unplug my fan. I only got 2 plugs on this island. Alright. Okay, so now I'm going to put the egg. There's the egg. I should have brought a garbage can. And then the vanilla. Well, maybe I should mix this in first. Oh wait, I think you were supposed to... Actually, I think you were supposed to wait till it was just a little bit fluffy, then add your egg. But I think it'll work. A teaspoon of vanilla. Now, just so you know, this recipe I'm doing, it calls for also a teaspoon of almond extract. I didn't want to use that. So I'm going to do a teaspoon of the vanilla, but I'm going to make it go a little bit over, because I'm not going to use the almond extract. Look what we're going to do. I know. My candy apples, I was horrified, Debbie. I was so nervous. I don't know. I guess because first time doing something different and not painting. So now that's my second time. I feel a little more relaxed. Hopefully next Friday, I'll tell you what I'm making. And I'm making zombie boogers. Yes. We're going to make this all fluffy. Well, that's what they call it, fluffy. Okay, I think that is good. Okay, I have to plug my fan back in or I'll start melting. I'm like really hot. It's still like 100 degrees outside. So hot. Okay. All right. So now we're going to just mix in slowly this whisked dry ingredients. I forgot the food coloring again, you guys. Oh my stars. All right. I totally forgot the food coloring. Crap, you want to put the food coloring in the wet ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. I used a lot of drops. I can't believe it. Maybe it'll mix better because it's still partially wet. Shoot. I don't want to have to use my hands again with this dough. Doggone it. Just remember, add your green before you add your dry ingredients. Yvette, you should have reminded me. You know, when I read some of the directions for the food coloring, it'll tell you, oh, 1, 2, 3 drops. No, heck no. It takes like 15. I don't know what kind of food coloring they're using. All right, I think that this is gonna work a lot better than last time. It's not as deep as green as I'd like, but I think it's green enough. My other ones are light, and it looks nice. That's why I don't. Yeah, I forgot everything. I got gloves, Barb. I had to use gloves for my other batch because I had to sit there and just go knead it all together. Sorry, I gotta sit every so often because my back is bugging me. Just mixing it all together. And I noticed that it's not really creamy, the dough. So, don't worry if it looks kind of dry with all this. I guess that's just the way it's supposed to be. Okay, last amount. Okay. These are really, really cute Halloween treat. You know, the kids will love them. My grandkids, they already sampled from what I did earlier, and they like them. And I made a little thing, I'll show you. I just made a little Halloween thing where I'll display the cookies just for fun. Okay, so once you have it all mixed together, which I think this is good enough. Oh, and it tastes delicious raw. I don't think you're supposed to eat it, obviously raw, because eggs, but I ate some and it was so good. I use a gel. Yes, gel food coloring is so much better. I used the gel food coloring when I made my candy apples. Okay, so it looks pretty good. So now you want to get some plastic wrap, cellophane. It says plastic wrap on here, but I think cellophane and plastic wrap are the same thing, right? I think so. Whoa, I thought I just dumped my water. You're doing great. Oh, thank you. I do feel a little nervous, so I'm a little fidgety. Okay. So, get your dough. Ew, it's going to be all messy on my hands, but I had my gloves on last time. And just, last time I already had it made into a ball, so. See, once you start squeezing it, it gets nice and soft, but like this, it looks kind of crumbly. But anyway, get it in there, and it said just kind of flatten it out a little bit, cover it with this plastic wrap, and then go put it in the fridge 30 minutes to an hour. I noticed the longer you keep it in there, the, you know, the kind of harder it gets. I have the other half of my batch already chilled, so I'm going to go get that. Ew, it does. It feels hard. I figured, why wash my hands? I'm going to touch this right now, right? I got an itch on my nose. Okay, so now, okay, there's a big mistake I made the first time, and I'm going to tell you what it is so you don't do it. Hold on, let me get this kind of soft. Jeez, my fridge is like super cold. Okay, before I tell you, you can use an ice cream scooper so that you use all the same size, whatever you want. I did that and that just made them too big. So roll it like you're rolling out a snake. Now I'm telling you, you need to make these rather skinny. If you make them too big, they're gonna look so funny. And I only know that because I did that. I made them too big. And you're gonna see. So I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I don't want them this big. So I made two more and I rolled them out much skinnier and I was much more happy. Okay, so I think this is good. And also, if this starts getting at room temperature, it's gonna spread when it cooks. You don't want it to spread because then you're gonna end up with big fat cookies. I don't know anyone who's gotten sick from eating cookie dough though, including me. I love raw dough. So see how skinny that is? That's what you want. And I went ahead and I just cut it in half. You can make the fingers long. You're gonna see my other batch. You're gonna be like, oh, gross, but you'll see. But there's two that turned out good, and it's because I did it like this. Take the tip of your knife, butter knife, and just make a little indent for your almond. Do the same thing here. And then with the back of your knife, underneath the fingernail, I just went 1, 2, 3 little lines. And then like where the knuckle is, 1, 2, 3. And then I have nails, so I can't really do it. But then you kind of want to pinch in here, in between those, to give it, you know, like the bone and stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a little pinch there, and a little pinch there. Then you're going to take your almond, which I boiled mine so it came in half. If you can't cut it in half, or if you don't have halved almonds, you can still use a big one. Just shove it in there. That's what I'm doing. I think it would look better if they were halved, of course. Okay, and then forgot the cookie sheet. Adam, please turn that down. It's too loud. So you want to get a cookie sheet, and you probably should do this, or I don't know. You can do it on the cookie sheet, whatever works for you. Get some parchment paper. Like that. And then it suggests spraying it with a little Pam. Okay. Take your cookie, set it on there, set it on there. Let me just roll out. I won't do a whole bunch so you don't have to sit here. This is just, you know, little quick recipes. I always get really thin there in the middle. I think this size is good. I don't know what that is. Maybe 3.5 inches, 4. I don't know. And then there. Oh, this one's a little too short. So we'll just make it have one knuckle. Then we'll put an almond on this one. And I'm just going to do these, and I'm going to save this so you don't have to sit through this actually. Okay. And I'm going to put this in the fridge, and I'm going to get the ones that I made already, and we'll go from there, okay? I'll finish this, and I'm going to go ahead and cook those. So let me put my timer. You want to cook them for like 10, 15 minutes. I put mine on, I think it was 13, and they were done. Let me just find my little clock. And let me put my timer. We'll do 13 minutes. And the oven is at 325. did and what I did wrong and all that jazz. Let me put this in the fridge. God, I have cookie dough all over my fingernails. This is so gross. Let me take them off this rack. Hi, Irene. Okay. Now let me show you. Let me tell you something. So I rolled them out and I'm like, okay, this looks like a good size. Then I forgot to put the almond on, but that's okay. We can still work with that. And then they cooked and I have like Frankenstein fingers. These are Frankenstein fingers. And I was like, I don't like the look of those. They don't look like witch fingers. So I rolled them out much, much skinnier. And then I put the almond in the fingernail. And then I ended up with these. This is what I wanted. So this is what you want, okay? But I'm still going to go ahead and decorate these because they're cookies and they're good. Let me go back to my live. I missed the black candy apples. My son got married at the time. Are you going to play? Oh, Becky, on my Facebook page, it's available as a replay. All my lives I keep and post on my page so you can watch the replay. Now, what I want to do, and I'm really bad at this, so I hope it works, melting candy. Before I get started with these, I'm going to take some, I have white vanilla wafers, and I'm going to melt them. I'm going to try. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. Just follow the directions on your package, whatever it says. Start out like 30 seconds, you know, whatever your package says, and then stir it and stuff. So that's going to be for over here. Now I do want my fingernails to look black. So I'm going to take a clean paintbrush, a clean one. I'll use this one, what the heck. And I'm going to use some black gel. I don't know if, can you guys even see this? Hold on. Okay, just want to make sure you can see, because I can't see my picture. I can only see these comments. Okay, so I'm going to take some black gel. And, well, shoot, that didn't give me a chance to do anything. 1 second. That didn't do nothing. We'll try that. So I'm going to put some on the fingernail. And again, you don't have to do this, but I just thought it would look cool. And just kind of cover it. Might have put too much. I'll do one with and one without, and then you can see which one looks better. And then I'm going to put some red gel around the fingernail to look like blood. I think I put too much. But too much would be good. It would taste good. Okay. I don't know what I did. Oh, here it is. Then take your, they only had sparkling, so I got sparkling gel. That is nothing like what the package says. Package says like 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to go right along the fingernail. Right at the bed, you know, to make it look like she's got blood. Okay, that's that one. Then this one, I won't paint the nail, but I'll just put the blood. And then let me show you one of these Frankenstein fingernails. You can put your gel on like that, and then take your almond. I only got a really, which fits perfect. It's a fat one. Like that. Okay. Let me check the candy. Oh, never mind. I burnt the candy. Well, shoot. Let me turn the fan on or my alarms are going to start going off. Okay, forget about the melting candy. We're going to use gel. And I'm just going to put some gel all on here. The bad thing is the candy would dry. You know, the candy would dry and it wouldn't be all gooky. But there's which finger. And then we'll do it on this one. Now, of course, I don't want to display these really big ones, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got to display them. I can't believe I burnt the candy. I'm so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. And this, just to give you an idea. I have much more to make and do, but I'm gonna wait and just let the kids eat them like this. I'm gonna wait for those skinny ones to be all done. So, ooh, I thought this would be fun. So if you're having like a Halloween party for the kids, how fun is it to make some really cool platters, you know, Halloween platters, but with food in there. Now I'm gonna have to wash these because this is gel. I was gonna be using the candy, remember, the candy hardened, so you can display the cookies. I don't think you can actually see this very well. If I had all skinny, it would look a heck of a lot better, but you could get an idea. I should have did more, but how do I show you? Go on, guys. I'm not quite sure how to show you this. But here's a platter. There's some witch boots, some pumpkins, and this is almost like cheesecloth kind of stuff, but it's black with a skeleton. And then just lay the cookies, you know, all right here. And you know, you can imagine how cute it will look with all the cookies, you know, in all these open areas and set down on a counter. Don't open the microwave, I burnt the candy, so that's why the fan's on. I could probably turn it off now. I tried. I did warn in my directions that, or not in my directions, in my description, that there's a chance that the stuff might not turn out right, or things can go wrong, and there you have it. Let's see what comments I have. Thank you. Oh goodness, I've had these witch boots for about 3 years. I probably got them at Michael's, but I will tell you, if you look on my where I have my photos, if you go back that far, about 3 years, I used these witch boots and made this humongous arrangement that was probably this big, and it was like amazing, amazing. And through the years, it just kind of got messed up, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna take it apart. I'm gonna reuse all these little Halloween things, and I kept the boots, and they're perfect for Halloween, and they're perfect for this. So anyway, well, thank you for joining. That was super quick. I'm gonna go over this one more time if you missed it. I'm just checking my timer. I got 2 minutes left on those skinny ones. So for this recipe, for the witch fingers, you need 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and it also calls for 1 teaspoon of almond extract. I didn't use the almond, I just put another splash of vanilla, a little bit. And you also need 2 3/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt. And then if you want the green food color, then use green food coloring. Make sure you mix it when in the wet with the egg and all that jazz. Don't do like me and wait till there's the dry ingredients in there. So you'll want to get all your dry ingredients mixed, whisked together, and then make sure you blend your wet ingredients, and then get it all together. Pat it up a little bit, put it in a plastic wrap in the fridge, 30 minutes to an hour. Take them out, roll them, make little marks. Use almonds for fingernails. You can use red gel for the blood, or melt some cookie or candy and dip the ends back here. Do not make your cookie, don't roll them out thick, they'll look like this. Do not substitute the butter, because if you substitute the butter, there's a lot of oils that are 100% fat, which will cause the dough to spread. So make sure you stick to the butter, and make them skinny, or you'll have Frankenstein fingers like this one, and they'll fall apart easy because they're too big. Do them like this. This is the good size, and they taste really, really good. And you know what else? When you display them, you can also put like a little spider on there. A lot of cute ideas. So next week, join me. Hopefully that'll turn out and I won't burn anything. For zombie boogers, that's Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is California time. Central will be 8 p.m. East Coast will be 9 p.m. And thank you for everyone who shared. Thank you for who left stars. I know this was a short video, but it's just sugar cookie. You know, it's nothing really long if you prep. It is if you don't prep. All right. Oh, lost my live. So thank you again, and I'll go ahead and set up an event as a reminder. If you're interested in watching next week, just click on the event and check it out Friday. So thank you for joining, and I hope to see you next week.